Joining me now, Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State and a Fox News contributor. Mr. Secretary, it's great to see you. It is quite stunning, despite the Wall Street Journal, of course, and a few other big publications, they see what is coming down the pike. But still, like Reuters will publish pieces saying, well, it looks like he could win a third term. Like there's any question about whether Xi Jinping is going to win a third and likely lifetime term here. What's going on?
Oh, my goodness. No, they call it the People's Congress, but this isn't any Congress that anyone's going to vote. He's going to consolidate power in a way that he's not had before. It's almost certain to be for a lifetime. And what that means for every American is that this is going to be a confrontation. Now, the Wall Street Journal got it right. We've been talking about this for years, you and I, Laura, right? We've watched Chinese espionage inside the United States. We've watched them steal intellectual property, build their economy on the backs of the American worker. You talked about President Clinton and the WTO, right? Sold America out so they could steal our stuff, build in China, and then come dump it back in the United States. This is going to be, they've been at economic war with the United States for an awfully long time. It is time for the United States to get serious. I'm glad that some of the bigger leftist publications are now taking this seriously. Those of us who have been watching China for the past few years have seen this coming, and we know what we must do.
Yeah, they were saying, like, few expected. I'm like, well, not that few. I mean, some of us saw this happening, right? Now, this also struck me
just a billion, 1.2 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Some other parts of the Journal really struck me today because they're reporting that the Biden administration is doubling down on its recognition of China as America's main competitor. So what administration officials haven't said, however, is that the U.S. is not fully prepared to fight a major war against China. I've been saying this for some time, Mr. Secretary. Our munitions are greatly depleted because of what we sent to Ukraine. Your response tonight?
Yeah, so the Wall Street Journal identified something that we were working on in the Trump administration. Think of it as more broadly as the defense industrial base, right? The capacity to make simple and high-end weapons and munition systems to build our Navy, to build our military. Trump administration increased our budgets, but there is a long way to go to make sure we have all the tools that when that day comes, when a Chinese confrontation comes, or more appropriately and more likely, when they threaten us and try and use that as leverage, we're actually prepared to engage them in a serious way. We're not in there's not as big a gap as the Wall Street Journal suggested, but make no mistake about it. Xi Jinping, this week, as he has given these speeches, has been talking about building out his technology, his space program, his cyber program in ways that the United States and more broadly the West must match.
Mr. Secretary, wonderful to see you tonight. Thank you.